Well, we're out here at the blackberry plants, and this is not supposed to happen, but it did. In fact, one of the reasons I planted blackberries in containers is so this wouldn't happen, but it did. And I don't know exactly why. Got to figure it out. But let me show you what it is first. Well, if you've been following me for any length of time, you know that not only do I grow blackberries, nice blackberries, but I also grow those blackberries in containers. These are what we call wicking tubs. They're somewhere between 18 and 20 gallons. They have a water reservoir on the bottom. They're just made out of an old cattle syrup tub, mineral tub that cattlemen use in the wintertime to supplement their cattle's diet. And I've been growing them in here. This is my 4th year, so not only can it be done, but they thrive in these in containers. Doesn't have to be a mineral tub, doesn't have to be a wicking tub. I've tried them in earth boxes, and I'm sure they would do well in other containers. So don't limit yourself to, well, I've got to do it in a wicking tub. That's not the case. I think they would do great everywhere. But they really grow nice blackberries that are nice and sweet. All these blue right here are what's called prime arc freedoms. Well, one of the reasons I quit growing blackberries in the soil, when you grow in the soil, that blackberry plant reproduces from itself, from its root. And that blackberry plant, no matter how straight your row is or where you want that row to be, that blackberry plant is going to bring some runners out, roots out, and pop a cane up where you don't want it to be. Sometimes it's right in the middle of the row where you want it to kind of fill in. Most of the time it's not. Most of the time it's 2, 3, 4 feet away from the row, and you either have to dig it up and replant it, or and that doesn't work well in the summer, or you have to just mow over it and keep it down. Well, so that was a priority for me, one priority reason for me to grow in containers. So let me show you what's happened here, and I don't know why. I have a blackberry plant coming up right next to this tub right here. I can't for the life of me figure out what has happened here. There's only 2 options that I can figure. And that's that some blackberries have dropped their seed, and they do that. Blackberries fall off, or they drop them when we're picking or whatever. And so there's plenty of blackberry seed probably in the ground, but I've just never seen blackberries reproduce themselves in the wild. Now, I'm not saying it doesn't happen, just saying I've never seen it or read about it or whatever. But either that happened, or this tub, or the one next to it, a tub has cracked, and the root has gone through the bottom of it and has come up over here. Now, I find that difficult to believe because of that water reservoir in the bottom of these tubs. That root would have to go through the water, which is, roots don't like to do that. Even blackberry roots, I don't think, like to do that. Plus, there's a landscape membrane in there, above the pipes that are in the water reservoir. So it either penetrated the landscape cloth, penetrated a hole in the tub, and I've looked around the tub, I don't see a hole on the outside of the tub, so it's got to be in the bottom of it, and sent a root down and came up over here, or it's from seed. I really don't know, but I just bet you it's a prime arc freedom blackberry. Even if it came from seed, even though that's a hybrid, I would think that it would still be a prime arc freedom. Certainly if it came from root, it would be. But anyway, I just thought I'd show it to you. I've got a neighbor that asked my wife the other day if I had any blackberry plants, and I told her no, and then I said, wait a minute, yes I do. I've got one growing where I don't want it, and I don't know where it came from, but I'll dig it up and give it to her. So that's what I'm going to do with this. I assume it's prime arc freedom, but really don't know because I don't know its origin. But it is a cultivated, it's not a wild blackberry, and it is thornless. So that lends me to believe it's a prime arc freedom. Going to dig her up, give it to the neighbor next door, and see how it goes. So here's the plant, about 3 feet tall. Need to get it in water pretty quick, or in a pot pretty quick, and water it real well. But see this? That little taproot tells me that it was coming from that way. Well, when I come here and look in that direction, there is the root right there. That is, so it's coming from this pot. So that solves the mystery. It also tells me I'm going to need to replace that pot because wicking tubs are supposed to wick, and to wick they got to have water in them. So anyway, just thought I'd show it to you because I've never seen anything like it, and probably you haven't either. I'll get it potted up and I'll show you the result, and we'll see how it goes. Well, so here it is, potted up. It, again, 3 feet tall or thereabouts. I went ahead and pruned the top to encourage some lateral growth. And you know, I probably should have pruned back even further than that. Typically when you transplant something, you prune it. So that may have been, it may be something I do. Take it back another few inches. Staked it out, just put a limb in it, tied it with my little tape tying machine that I love. So it's potted, it's watered very well. So hopefully it would do well for her. Not sure, you know, of course, because I've never done one exactly like this. I've dug up plenty of plants, but again, summertime is not a great time here in the great state of Texas. But I think we solved the mystery, and that is from that root, from that tub, that blue tub, root coming out from the bottom of it. So that's something I'm going to have to watch because it's a wicking tub, and if it's got a hole in the bottom, it's not going to have much. It's not going to have a water reservoir in the bottom of it, or shouldn't, unless that root went in there and just found a small hole and went down through the hole and plugged that hole. I haven't seen the plant look like it's suffering for water, so I think that might be the thing. It's you know, it's got a hole somewhere, but the hole got plugged. Anyway, I'm definitely going to keep an eye on it, and if so, I can change that tub out. Just thought I'd show it to you because that's something I'd never seen before, and if you're gardening in wicking tubs or other containers, it may be something that you run into. Now, I'm going to say this, and I know many of you are earth box scared because of the price or whatever. I don't think that if that was an earth box, I don't think it would ever split on the bottom. I just don't think it would have ever split. I think the earth box is just so much thicker, different material, and it's just, you know, those tubs were meant to last for a winter. They'll last 5 to 6, 7 years is what most people say, but they weren't meant to last that long. An earth box will last 15, 20, 25 years. I've had a bunch of people comment on my channel that they've had their earth boxes for 20 and 25 years. But that just may be another reason to grab some earth boxes if you want to grow some blackberries in containers. Yes, they're expensive initially, but they last many, many, many years, decades. And divide the price by the decades, and it's not that expensive. A couple of bucks a year, something like that. Not a big deal. Not here to sell you an earth box, but I am here to say if I start to see that a lot, those blue tubs start rupturing, instead of replacing them with other blue tubs that are going to rupture, I may just get some earth boxes and go to town with some earth boxes. Probably cut back on my blackberries, not have as many, but have them in earth boxes instead. Again, I'm not an advocate for earth boxes. They're not a sponsor of mine. Don't get a dime off of them unless you buy it on my Amazon link. But I will have that link below. But I like earth boxes, and the more I deal with failures in other systems, earth box is a good way to go. So didn't mean to keep you this long, but it's just an anomaly that, you know, thought you might want to see. And there it is, ready to go. All right, that's it. We're ready to go too. We're gone.